Welcome back to the Socially Distant Podcast. Once again, it's week 19. God damn, it's week 19. That's pretty wild. But we are back, and I'm here with Trent and Brad as always. I haven't done an intro in a while, and I honestly don't remember what I'm doing. So we're just going to pass it over to Trent and see what's up.
Nothing much, man. Nothing much. Just continuing my quest to be a lumberjack and get wood for the household. And, I've been doing shit for Fredonia, transferring shit. But, excited for this expose of, some shoplifting cult today that I heard of. How you doing, Brad?
Good. What's going on, boys? And more importantly, what's going on, everybody? As Dylan tried to say, he pretty much said it. Welcome back, week 19. Glad to have everybody, and we got a fire episode today. Honestly, the boys. I mean, I didn't really do much of it. I didn't really do any of it because they kind of took over. But the boys have some fire topics. They went so hard doing some research, looking deep in everything. So stay tuned throughout the whole way because I think you guys are gonna like what we got coming at you.
Yeah, for sure. I think, are we gonna, let's talk about Liam's question real quick, whether or not we're doing it or not. Let's just give Liam a shout out right at
Hell
the
yeah,
beginning.
shout out Liam O'Brien. Yeah, I got a bone to pick with everybody else. As far as I know, Liam was one of the only people that made a point to get a hold of any of us and answer, or basically ask a question like I asked people to do last week. So if you listened last week and you're listening now, I'm calling you out and you're a bitch. So be better. Be more proactive. Be spontaneous in
You
your
also
lives,
asked it. You asked it like an hour and a half in.
No,
Like,
I'm
at
not
the
getting it
end.
that long.
It was not
was
that
like-
long, Trent.
It was like at the
It
end.
was pretty heavily in. It was
All right,
like,
well,
guess
what, Trent?
45-minute mark.
Guess what? I'm changing up. Right here, folks, we're
Change
about
it
2 minutes,
start
30
it at
seconds
the
in.
beginning.
If my math is correct, we're a little over 2 minutes in. How about this? If you're listening and you would like us to talk about different topics or elaborate on a topic that we've touched on briefly, or if you have like a question of the day, please message or DM myself, Dylan, or Trent and ask us that question. And then we will give you the shout out and we will answer the question or talk about a certain topic more on the podcast. Look at that. They all should be paying attention still.
Yeah. If you
Lazy
left that
bastards.
early, you have no commitment.
You don't.
And you got some problems.
But at the same
I'm
time,
kidding.
if you click just so it gets like the one added listener, I respect you.
Yeah, that's also lit too. If you're one of those people,
Yeah,
I
if you
respect
click
for
just
that
so we
too.
get the numbers, but then you leave, I'll give you a nod.
You're
I
still a
respect
good.
it.
Speaking of that, I feel like last week's podcast launch with a whole bunch of shit last minute went pretty well. Firstly,
Last week's
I
podcast
think
was
so
great.
as well.
So Trent, we gave the shout out to Liam. What was Liam's question? And please explain to us why we're gonna need to take a little bit more time to fully dive into the background of that question.
So Liam's question was, why cities ran by Democrats have worse crime rates and worse education systems than other cities? And so I was looking at this for a while. I was on this site that is like a site that's like, oh, I'm trying to find a home, and it's like, where's the safest place? And it like ranked the 10 most dangerous cities, and they're all ran by Democrats, but that was like ranked on property crime and violent crime and like a whole mixture of things based on like, would you want to live there? And based on Liam's question, I don't know if he was talking about like violent crime, like murders per capita, or like, or if he's talking about like the social unrest right now and crimes like that. But I think we're gonna have to take some more time and delve deeper into it. And
You
try
might have
to, like,
you might have to get a hold of him and ask him to elaborate on the question as well.
yes.
I thought it would be fun because I think Liam would be a great person to talk to.
Oh,
I thought it'd be fun to invite him on to actually sit down and talk about that question.
Let's go, baby. R-rated episode.
that is gonna be I think that's how we should solve this answer.
I
question,
don't know
Jesus
a
Christ,
lot about
I'm
this
high.
question. I can see reasons why, and I would love to do more research and sit and talk with Liam about it, because it is a good question. And I honestly, if you watch that interview with the dude from Barstool, he's pretty much, they brought it up in that conversation.
Whoa.
Like all the
What dude from Barstool?
Dave.
Oh, I was gonna say, his name's Dave. Don't disrespect me and say that dude.
Sorry.
That's Dave Portnoy.
Cautious.
That's Dave
Anyways,
Portnoy. Okay.
He they talked about it. Him and Trump talked about literally that. So it is a big conversation right now because there's a lot of crime happening and a lot of people are dying in big cities right now.
Yeah.
So either way, either we answer it just us, or Liam's always welcome to come on, and I would love to talk with him.
Liam.
Yes.
That's an open invitation.
Jerry. We should get him on here.
True though.
Yes. Now to the expose.
Yeah.
The piece de la resistance.
I guess. Do we want to hit this early, or do we want to hit on anything else before we get in there?
Well, we mentioned.
Yeah.
Let's wait. That's the piece de la resistance, if that's how they say it in France. But I wanna. You touched on it. And then you just clipped it. I always forget that, like, when we were sitting around that little fire this weekend, the boys, we were talking about that interview, Dave Portnoy with Trump, and I just naturally just assume you were there as well, Dylan, but obviously you weren't there.
Yeah, it's so weird.
And then when you sent it to the chat, I was like, what's he talking about? We just talked about this. I was like, oh fuck, he lives in Pittsburgh now. I was like, he wasn't at the fucking little fire. But for anybody listening who has not seen Barstool Sports President's Dave Portnoy, his interview with Trump, I highly recommend it. It's on Dave's Twitter. It's a 3-parter.
Or Instagram.
Or Instagram as well. It wasn't extremely elaborate with topic-wise, but it was a solid interview. And
you got 30 minutes with Trump, and that's a lot.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Dave's really good at interviewing people, though. I'm not going to lie.
No, because Dave's a fucking American man who doesn't give a shit and he wants to make a shit ton of money.
True.
And that's Donald Trump's kind of person, and it was a good interview.
Dude, I absolutely love how openly Dave talks shit about Roger Goodell. I absolutely fucking love it. He will never hesitate to be like, yeah, the dude gets paid millions. Anybody can do the job. He says it all the time. He hates him.
He said it in front of the president.
Yeah. And then Trump said something like, well, it's a hard job. And then Dave was like, anybody can do it. He's like, well, yeah, you're right. And he was like, dude, it's so funny. I apologize as well. I'm eating salad. So if you hear any crunching or noises, that's me.
That was a really good interview. Freaking Logic, gotta give a shout out to him.
Yeah, we didn't talk about that last week.
Oh, yes.
We're gonna hit because we're gonna get the big expose in there after we get a couple other things, but I just want to say album of the week has to go to Logic. I respect the man heavily for everything that he's done across his career. I went and bought his book physical. I had an audio book of it before, but I went and bought his physical book and I bought the CD for the new album just because that man has helped me through a lot, honestly.
Logic has retired, for anybody who doesn't know.
Yeah, true.
Would you like to give us reason?
He's on Twitch now, if anybody would like to continue to.
Do you
support him?
Basically, I mean, all I read was that he just wanted to be more of a father and shit.
Yeah, he says I watched he did one last interview with Hard Knock, and he pretty much said that yeah, he just wants to be with his family, and he's also 30 years old, and he's
big true.
He's made so much money, it's not even funny. So it's time for him to go.
Very true.
He's getting out well. Everything's fine.
Wow, the getting's good.
And he's got a wife and a kid now, so he lives in Montana. So he can just go shoot guns and be a country man for the rest of his life. And that's everybody's dream.
True.
I personally think.
What's your favorite album?
Yeah, probably The Incredible True Story, just because, I went with Trent and Andrew to go see it in concert. That was just being
That
able
was
to
amazing.
see him in concert.
Watching him,
that's a really good album in general.
Yeah.
dude. Remember when he mixed on stage live with that thing he brought out, and he fucking, oh my god, he just started freestyling on that shit, and he looped it. Oh, that shit was nutty.
Yeah. He's
That
a
dude-
very talented artist.
Yeah.
I do like The Incredible True Story, but for me it'd have to be a tie between Under Pressure and Welcome to Forever, Young Sinatra.
Yeah.
I was gonna say
Those
I
ones
like
are fire.
Under Pressure for sure.
Under Pressure's a really good album.
What about Supermarket, dude? Supermarket is the best album
Supermarket.
he ever made.
I just think like a lot of like for me, I don't know. I think a lot of like who Logic is, as far as like how he like makes songs and like just like his style. I think you get a lot of that in a lot of the Under Pressure songs.
Yeah.
Like
Well,
Soul
I think
Food,
No
Buried
Pressure-
Alive, Under Pressure itself, Now, All Right.
Leading up to Under Pressure, or leading up to No Pressure, I kind of went back. You know those like old like YouTube channels that like FaZe would use for like their montages and stuff, like
FaZe.
promoting sounds and stuff like that. They were just like they would put like Logic's songs up and everything. And I went back and I watched like his old music videos and some of those videos, and then No Pressure came out, and I felt like I was listening to the same kind of music.
Mm.
Like it was the closest I've heard to like old school Logic, like just when he was young as fuck and dropping like Under Pressure and shit.
Yeah.
And I respect him, and I'm glad he got an album that he loves, because I listened to him talk about it on his Twitch, because I watched like the viewing party he had or whatever, and he's a very genuine human being.
Oh, he's a
I
great
respect the
dude.
man.
His interview with his Hot Ones interview. It's great. I love that. I love that interview.
I don't think I've seen that, but I do love me some Hot Ones.
It was Hot Ones, right? He was on Hot Ones.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much anyone famous has been on Hot
Dude, I
Ones.
love Hot Ones so much. To this day, my favorite episode of Hot Ones will forever be the Shia LaBeouf episode, because Shia LaBeouf is fucking hilarious.
That man is a legend. You gotta watch his new movies, honestly. They're
Yeah,
pretty good.
Peanut Butter Falcon and
Honey
Peanut
Boy.
Butter Falcon.
what's the other
Honey
one?
Boy and Peanut Butter Falcon.
Yeah.
Honey Boy. So his like, I don't know what you would call it, but it's a film about himself, and he plays his dad.
That's awesome.
Biopic, maybe. I don't
He
know.
doesn't play himself in the movie about himself, but he plays his dad. Who plays him?
Because it's
Noah Jupe.
it's some other actor. It's like a little kid, like a younger Shia for most of the movie.
Oh, that makes sense. That makes
Yeah.
sense.
Like even Steven's age, that Shia LaBeouf.
That's deep, dude. Ain't nobody doing that. Ain't nobody making a movie about themselves playing not themselves.
It was a good movie. I went to it. I saw it in Syracuse at the theater. There was like literally one other person in there, and it was like this dude that I was in my like major.
Yeah.
He was like a 40-year-old dude who was in the military.
You're like, what's up?
I did say hi to him, but before the movie started, there was probably like 45 minutes worth of ads of
Oh my
like just
God.
trailers and stuff.
Hey, bro. Shy's gotta get his
It was
money.
It was definitely a low budget situation where they had to make their money back. But it was a really good movie. I think it's on HBO now, or Netflix.
Ooh.
One of the two. HBO, I think.
I'll have to look.
Well,
Definitely recommend it. Or maybe
listeners, you
Amazon.
got your
Yeah, so listen
watching
to Logic's
needs.
album and freaking listen to Honey Boy.
Yeah.
Or watch.
Yeah,
whatever.
listen to Honey Boy. Don't watch it. Just listen to it.
listen to
Just
Honey
listen
Boy
to
and
it.
watch Logic's album, and that's all you gotta do.
Yeah.
If you could successfully do both of those things, then you might be the next. Like, you might be the evolved. You might have.
Yeah, the
Already
last thing I
evolved.
wanted to touch on is freaking episode 20 is next week, which is wild.
Episode 20.
Yes. 20 weeks.
5 months, right? Am I wrong?
Yeah.
That's 5 months, isn't it?
So,
Wait a minute.
What's crazy is that this whole
Yeah.
time it's been coronavirus. It's just been like
I know, we had 5 months of straight living through Corona.
is quite wild.
It's been a...
That actually makes me sad. That depresses me.
It's kind of sad that the marking point of our podcast is like, oh, it's also been 5 months of coronavirus.
Corona, day 150. Yeah, no, that's a damn shame. Oh my god, Dylan, you know what I was thinking about? Random thought. I gotta tell you this because I forgot to tell you before we started recording, and I need to tell you because it made me. I was pissing my pants at work. I walked outside to go get like our little easel that we put out front when we're open, and somebody had their dog in their car in the parking lot, and the dog started barking, and literally the first thing that came to my mind, and I said it like under my breath, was put that yapper outside. And like, I was like, dude, I haven't said that in so long, ever since Dylan hasn't lived at home, and I was dying, dude. I was walking back into the store, I was cracking up. I was like, we haven't said that in so long.
A deep-rooted memory.
Yeah, right. Anytime I hear a dog bark now, all the first thing pops in my head is put that yapper outside. For anybody who doesn't know, whenever we'd be playing Xbox, like back in high school and stuff, and one of Dylan's dogs would bark, and you'd be able to hear it in the background of his microphone, we'd always scream at him and tell him to put that yapper outside. So it was just like a reoccurring gag thing that we had going on. Good times. Good times.
But yeah, episode 20 is coming, and last week I did some trial stuff of what I would like to do. The only thing is, a lot of this is me trying to do all this stuff all at once, and there might be weeks where I get lazy. So I'm going to try to at least get the video content out there. This week is definitely a big project, and it's not going to happen every week. I'm telling you that right now. I could not promise that level of work.
Hell no.
But
Don't blame you.
I'll continue to try to get, some decent stuff, but nothing crazy.
Just do it every once in a while. You can do it every once in a while.
Season 2, man. Season 2, it's better than Season 1. That's all we need.
Yeah.
If we improve minorly every season.
If anybody wants to be an unpaid intern who knows how to edit,
yes,
Photoshop, Premiere, and After Effects, and use Audacity, if you could do all 4 of those things for free, you got a job.
We will pay you in hugs, but when the coronavirus is over, because social distancing.
Yeah.
Yes.
No. You can put it on your resume. I'll give you a nice letter of recommendation.
Yeah. They'll be like, the socially distant podcast? Who the fuck is this? And we'll be like, what's up?
What's up?
We're credible.
Don't listen to
over
him.
500 total listens. We're pretty much like the number 1 podcast now.
Bro, we're like Joe Rogan. Like, hello.
Hey, 19 episodes to get 500 views. Ain't that bad in my book.
It ain't bad. I'll take it.
Ain't bad.
Shout out to everybody who's been with us since day one.
We fucking YouTube video last week got over 20 views.
Woo.
And I will fucking take that.
What's good, bitches?
I saw that.
That's dope. Not gonna lie, that's dope.
Yeah. It's good. This week's podcast, because we're about to get into the big shit here. I would recommend, if you really want to see all the stuff that I'm going to talk about coming up here, to watch it on YouTube. I'm going to put the PowerPoint and everything that I made to kind of keep my thoughts together, and also for the YouTube content.
Quality right there.
So if you want to see more visuals, I would definitely say either just hop over on YouTube. I should have prefaced this from the very beginning, but yeah, just hop over on the YouTube channel. It's just the Socially Distant Podcast. You can find it. It's also my Instagram and the Socially Distant Podcast Instagram thing. And I think if you go on Anchor, like the Anchor link that we have is also located on there. I think I have it everywhere.
Boom.
So it shouldn't be that hard to find.
There's
several other Socially Distant podcasts, but you guys know our logo by now.
Yes.
And I think that's all.
I would love to get a new one. So hopefully, Noah, where you at, big dog? Hook us up.
I talked to him. I don't know what. I just told him to do whatever he wants, and I'm not gonna put him on a deadline or anything.
Well, no, I don't want to put him on a deadline either. But that'd be dope.
But hopefully that's coming. I said it before, but I would like to get someone to do our like podcast logo every season, just because like that's kind of what Dream Digitally kind of started off as, is my goal, trying to get different like artists to work together in different situations like that.
Hell yeah.
So anytime I can bring in another artist to do something like Noah or any other very talented people, I definitely would love to give them any exposure I can give them, even if it's two people. 2 people is better than...
Hey.
2 people is 4 eyes.
1 person's
4
all you need,
ears.
baby.
Yeah. The podcast with Noah had good views or good listens and everything, so...
Good.
I'm glad. That was
a good
one of my
podcast.
favorite episodes of this
It
season.
was. I loved having him on. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah. For damn sure. Alright, are you guys ready for this? This might take me a few
This
seconds, because...
is the piece de resistance.
Let me try to get this all set up here.
I think it might be, oh, no. I was wrong.
Yo, Trent, you ready to splash after this, bud?
Dude, I was thinking the same thing
Yo.
earlier. As soon as we had to rip this late night podcast sleeve, I was like, "Oh no, Rocket League is gonna get delayed."
I know. I honestly, like, I didn't even think about it. I didn't even think about it until I was driving home from work, and my phone went off, and I just looked down real quick, and Jake was like, he said something about it. I was like, oh my god,
He's gonna be late.
I was like, we were supposed to play Rocket League tonight. I was like, shit. I was like, all right, and yeah, that's when I said. I was like,
we got some late night
after
runs.
podcast. And then I
Yes.
texted him. And then I texted him back when I got in the driveway, and I was like, yo, we'll be done by like 10:30, 11 at the latest. And he was like, all right, well, I'm leaving Jamestown in like a couple minutes. And I was like, there we go. We'll be golden, bud. All right, Dylan, this is looking beautiful.
I'm glad
Dylan,
you guys...
Loving the visuals.
I have to get out of here quickly.
Dylan, we got a pro career in Rocket League to worry about here, bud.
Alright.
We're getting better.
Coming soon. Dylan, how
maybe
high
one day
must
I'll
I
get
be
on
for
it.
this exposure of this shoplifting cult?
Well, rephrase your question. What did you say? Sorry.
I was like, how high must I be?
Oh, how high must you be?
Yes.
Depends on what mood you want to be in. I'm taking this. I've switched up my tone that I'm gonna take this with. Originally, I was pretty grumpy, and then I got high multiple times while working on this, and I opened my mind to alternative ways of talking about this.
Dylan's a
'cause I don't
shoplifter
wanna...
now.
No, I'm talking about. We'll get into it. I've had a long journey with this, and I'm going to be very glad to be. These communities in the internet, they hurt your soul real quick.
Yeah,
So, alrighty. So I guess we can get into this. This past week, I was introduced to the concept of anti-capitalism shoplifting, I think was the original phrasing that I went into this looking at. After that, after some talking to some people, I also was introduced to the world of Tumblr and the fact that there has been glimpses of like people on Tumblr and like on Twitter and stuff talking about shoplifting for anti-capitalism, and like it seems to be like this weird group, and apparently there's a group on Tumblr all set up all over. You can just go on the hashtag or whatever, and they're all over the place, called Liftblr, which is very interesting that Tumblr would allow this to happen to begin with, but we're going to get into all of that. Yeah, so before we get into what is your guys' opinions about all of what you guys have seen about this?
What's my opinion about shoplifting?
Yeah, or about shoplifting anti-capitalist people.
Oh, I mean, that's a really. I feel like
I've been thinking
I
about
don't
this,
know.
like,
I
all
feel like I would have to
day.
think about that question, but at the same time, I wouldn't, because you feel like the answer would be so straightforward. But at the same time, I can understand. I can understand like the reasoning behind it, and I can understand why people might see that way, and maybe within some sort of like moral compass, it's like, you know, you feel like it is justified if you look at it from different angles, but at the same time, I really don't agree with it.
Mm.
I agree with the idea. I don't agree with the execution. That's what I should have said
Yeah.
to make it
Yeah.
not sound so stupid. I'm smart, people.
Like, so just from like a business standpoint and like economics, just seeing it from the supply chain all the way up to the fact that like every company keeps track of inventory. Like, it's not like they don't have all the financial sheets, and like every quarter you'll see that things are missing. Like,
I'll talk about that a little bit too. It's
and
called loss prevention, I think.
Yeah, LP.
That's what
Yeah, I was looking at
GNC
all
has
that.
heavy.
And like shit like that. I don't know. I was looking at Walmart because I feel like a big company that like people steal from is Walmart. I don't know why. Just like from around here, people are like, oh.
So I mean,
know.
self-checkouts
And-
make it so easy and stuff like that.
Yeah, I know.
And people
And
just
like
hate
I was
Walmart.
looking at it, Walmart has their balance sheet during the coronavirus right now. They have $14.6 billion in cash and 76 point like something billion dollars in debt. Like I know like it's a big business, and I don't know, but it's not like what comes down to is theft raises the prices. Like it hurts the consumer, hurts the other people in the store shopping, because like
Yeah.
they have to recuperate those losses somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely agree with both of what you guys said. For sure, it comes down to the morals behind, or like the message that they're trying to portray by doing this. But I think once we get into this, that kind of argument kind of falls apart just due to the fact of the situation surrounding all of this. I definitely think the people involved, I'm going to preface this from the very beginning, this isn't targeted at anyone. This is kind of what I'm talking about, where my tone changed towards this. It kind of, anybody involved in this, to a certain extent, I think the large majority of the people that I'm going to talk about during all this are between the ages of 14 and 16 years old. And this is a really weird time to grow up. I'm not going to chastise these people. If you're above the age of 18 years old and you're openly doing this, you're putting this message out for these kids in the same group, because I'm sure that those people exist. I'll get into that as well, about the people who are kind of promoting this through here and how to do it more. Those kind of people on here, those people I think deserve to be, anybody who's openly trying to help this idea kind of grow into something more than it is, probably some legal thing should happen in that case.
Yeah.
But the children involved in this, I'm not going to go after them. A lot of the things that you're going to see, I'm guaranteeing it's coming from young kids.
Yeah.
And that's just how this, coming across this. In one way, it makes me angry that kids are stupid enough to like fall for this kind of shit, that thinking that shoplifting is doing something good for society. Because it's really, saying that right there is just, you can see where it sounds like a stupid thing, but kids are very impressionable. I was a stupid kid at that age. I fell for stupid shit that I was told, and I still fall for stupid shit that I was told. But I'm a much older person, and I would like to be like treated in that sense. But yeah, so we can just get into this wild shit.
Damn.
It's been a long journey for me.
You gotta be tearing up over here, bro. That's beautiful.
Alright, now time to shit on it. Alright.
Yeah.
So we got Liftblr
Exposed.
Exposed.
Alright, we're gonna get right into this.
Hey, can you
Alright.
move your little Skype thing?
Yes.
Oop-ah, there we go.
That's probably been on there the whole time. That probably fucked it. Whatever. Doesn't matter. Alright.
Doesn't
Get
matter.
into this. We got... Oh no. What's happening? It's not moving now. There we go.
Yeah, buddy.
We're going now. We're not. Technical difficulties. I knew this wasn't going to go well. Liftblr. Alright. So this is from... There was this one... The first article that I came across was a pretty prominent article, it appeared, because multiple other sources I read linked to this article as like the thing that kind of brought this out into daylight. And that original article was written in, I'm pretty sure, 2015, 2016. I have citations at the bottom of the pages when I need them, so it'll be there. But this prominent article came out about the shoplifting community, and this is the definition that they gave, and I want to give them the props they need for kind of talking about this to begin with back in 2015. But the fact that I'm talking about it in 2020 and it's still going on, that's where I draw a lot of issues. But anyways, so Tumblr's notorious shoplifting community is an ever-changing group of mostly young female bloggers who trade tips, write about criminal exploits, and post images of stolen merchandise known as hauls. That's pretty much what a lot of the content on there is photos like in the background here of clothes laid down on beds, and they will post like how much money each one of the items is worth. We'll see a little bit of that later on, but yeah, that's pretty much what a lot of the content on here is. After that, the two major hashtags, it would be very interesting to see if you could, there's ways you can look at like the channels of where things are coming from in and out of hashtags to look at these two. I didn't have an opportunity to do that, but hashtag myhauls and hashtag Liftblr are like the two major ones. There's a couple other like hashtag 5-finger discount I found in there. There's a couple other hashtags that they operate through, but those are the two main ones. There's actually like they do have a good system of like tenets and like laws and everything within the community. It does vary, but some of the major ones is like not stealing from small businesses, which we'll talk about a little bit later, and not snitching on any of the people that you're lifting with, because they do this in groups most times, so they're less likely to get caught. Because I've seen it work in retail where people will come in a big group of people, so it's a lot harder for the employees to keep an eye on everyone.
Yep.
So they'll do that a lot,
especially when you're
so
distracted.
everybody can steal stuff. And I guarantee on my watch people have stolen from me, and I really hope some of the stuff that they stole is not floating around on Tumblr, because that would make me sad. But yeah, so that's a pretty broad introduction to this crazy group of
Ain't nobody steal shit from
people.
me at GNC, because I'll chase him out the door and fucking bear tackle him.
Yeah, I wonder, honestly, we can see it in this next slide. I've
Oh.
included a long list of rules that someone put up. You guys can look through that if you want.
Wow.
I already
And then-
read this, and what I find so funny is that they have like the getaway like call outs like hamburger get the fuck out.
That's
like,
the only time I've ever seen those getaway phrases mentioned in any of the stuff that I read. I don't know if that's a normal thing or if that's just Elks lifting rules.
I just thought that was so funny. I was
Yeah,
like, what?
I really wonder if that's what they say. But
Chicken nuggets. Take your shit and go. Milkshake. I think we might be getting sussed out. French fry is, I got the shit I want and I'm ready to go.
see, these
French
rules
fries.
seem like they were made to like for boomers.
Children. Yeah, it seems
Girls
like,
go for
like,
guy
the
stuff.
word
Guys go for
sussed
girl
out.
stuff. Huh.
Yeah.
Like
Okay,
this
so
shit
you can
too. Don't conceal on camera. Know your blind spots. And then the other one that says, wait until you have turned a corner and walked 3 blocks minimum before discussing what you lifted. Like that shit's holy crap.
Yeah, from the very beginning, you can tell that this was written by a young kid.
Yeah.
Like, a lot
Be
of the
chill.
stuff in here,
Be
girls
zen.
go for guy stuff. Like, no adult is gonna write that normally. So, right from and just like how the whole layout of the whole thing is very
No mature adult is gonna steal anything.
yeah.
They're gonna work and they're gonna pay for what they
I-
consume.
Yeah, I hope there's not adults floating around in this community. I really can't tell without. They're all obviously
Bro, there definitely
a lot
is.
of their
There definitely is.
their usernames are all kind of like, oh, I don't know what the word is, but they all have something to do with lifting. Like this one's
I'm a lifting bitch.
Lifting bitch, yeah. And there's I don't know. You'll see a couple more as
What
we go
the
through. I
fuck?
kind of tried to block out some of them, but some of them made their usernames very prominent. So those were the ones I was okay with showing. I tried to get rid of most of the username as possible, because once again, these are most likely children, and I'm not trying to get them in trouble. I'm trying to call out the situation around this. But yeah, so I don't see GNC on this list of things, so I don't know what your guys' LP policy is, but they're not hot on it yet. So
Oh well, we have a hot LP we have a hot LP like department or wherever. Like they go around like every few months or like every so often, a specific amount of time, and they come in and they check everything. Like they will come in and we will have to. They actually start like early in the morning. We had to do it. I think it's once a year. We had to do it before the start of last fall semester. We had to get there at like 6:30 in the morning, and we just had to. We literally had to go through everything in the store, and what we did was, we have to scan every item. You got to go in and you got to scan every item once, and then I believe you have to input. Either we had to input or we just had to scan every item, and then it knows how many you're supposed to have in the store, and then afterwards you go through and you like physically count it, and then all the discrepancies. So like it's just nuts because you have to count every single bottle of every single thing in the store. They do that once a year. They do that once a year to get like a hard count, and then we have to do daily counts. We have to do counts in the morning and then counts at night. So the counts in the morning that we do, they're just a random. It's like every few months we swap between it, and it's like a random 8 products throughout the store. And in the morning you just search the number on the computer and it tells you it. And then at night you have to go around and physically count how many you have, and then make sure like the numbers match.
Yeah.
So like they do stuff like that, but every year they do like a physical hard count where like one person, like one of the guys from LP come down and he like helps like and then all the people who work there, they have to like be there earlier in their morning before like we open the store at 10, and you just literally count shit the whole time. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean Hibbett had a pretty good one too, but a lot of shit does get stolen from there.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, a lot of the shit got stolen there, but that's not my
We
fault.
only get stuff stolen probably like every once in a while. Like bars and stuff, like the protein bars that are really close to the door, because like they're just cheap items, so that's why you put them the closest to the door, and then the expensive shit's in the back. But this one time, we are pretty certain we had this like $60 tub of pre-workout stolen because these 2 kids came in at the same time, and the one walked straight back to where they were, and then the other kid was like dawdling around up front. And I don't remember who was working at the time. I think it was, I'm not going to name drop, I think it was my one friend. He, like, the one kid that was up front was like, hey, I got a question. And, like, he was like, yeah, man, what's up? And he started to walk towards him, and then literally not even, like, 30 seconds later, the kid that was in the back of the store just, like, walked down the aisle and walked out, and then, like, turned the corner and started walking, like, the other way down, like, the plaza. And then, like, within, like, the next minute, he just, like, finished explaining, like, or I think he asked, like, some stupid bullshit question. And he's like, oh, okay, cool, man, thanks. And then he just left, like, randomly just leaves. And he was like, oh. And then, like, my friend, like, turned around, and he was like, oh, the other dude left too. And he went over there, and he noticed that, like, because we do, like, we call it, like, block and face, where, like, once you sell something, we, like, bring the next one forward, or you, like, restock behind it. So then you always know that, like, if something's missing, you either just sold it or, like, something happened, because then it's, like, there's a space in the shelf. So he went over to, like, the pre-workouts, and there was an empty space where, like, the one was supposed to be, and he was like, shit, I think that kid just stole that from me. So now we have, like, those specific ones locked up, so we have to open them with our key. So it was just, like, obviously it wasn't funny because they stole something from our store, but at the same time it was kind of funny. Yeah. It was like he asked him a question, the other dude just grabbed it and walked the fuck out. He's like, see ya.
Yeah, hopefully that... I don't know, man. People are fucking sketchy.
Yeah. People are scumbags.
So that kind of gets us into... So we've kind of talked about how these are shoplifting young kids and everything like that. But they are a politically active kind of group. Even from the very beginning, that our exposure to this, it was met with like that kind of anti-capitalism thought to it. Like I said at the beginning, that's what I started looking up the stuff up about for. Oh, I'm sorry, my words. Yeah, but they're pretty politically active. At least they like to think they're being. I think it says civil disobedience and stuff like that. Political disobedience, I think, is they're an anarchist group in a way. They're trying to tear capitalism down from it inside by stealing things.
Yeah.
Like, it's just a really shitty way of being an anarchist. And so this quote right here comes from it's the computer human interaction or whatever. It's like a major you can take in college. I'm pretty sure it's in the citations. But they wrote this big long paper about, like, research paper about this community. So that was very helpful during this research to actually sit there and read. It was taken in a weird direction because it had something to do about, like, making websites and stuff less likely to get, I don't know, it was weird. Doesn't matter. But they said many of the posts in the Liftblr community explicitly address the social and political and ethical aspects of the crime. The lifters discussed a very broad range of political topics with varying degrees of seriousness. They posted about civil disobedience, anti-war manifestos, communism and capitalism, biases in media production and representation. So, and I did see a lot of that, honestly. When I was looking through all of this stuff, I did see a lot of kids saying that, oh, fuck the man, blah, 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 I hate capitalism.
Fuck
But
the
I don't
man.
think they know what that means. I honestly, for the life of God, I don't think they know what any of this stuff means. Maybe at a surface level, I don't know. Wasn't that politically active, but I also didn't grow up post Donald Trump. So I have no clue. Maybe they're aware of this stuff on a surface level, but
Yeah.
I don't think this is the way that the youth should be aiming their efforts. I think they're a lot more powerful than they think they are. And I think they should just, I don't know, but they're also kids. I can't talk down on them. Anyways, lifters aim their efforts towards big business with an apparent hope of dealing a blow to American capitalism. A Robin Hood mentality persists amongst some users where they lift in the name of those who are marginalized by the system that the lifters, feel oppressed by. So yeah, that kind of sums it up. There's a lot of people in the community who are trying to, like, you see it a lot with these, like, weird internet communities and stuff that pop up. A lot of people are doing stuff in the name of other people. Like, with, like, I don't want to compare it to, there's some instances where you see, like, something getting canceled, like, I don't know, the Redskins thing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna guarantee most of the people that were yelling about the Redskins things are not Native American. I'm sure there's some in there, but a large majority of the people in there are fighting for someone else's fight. And it happens all the time, and that's what happens in these situations. But that's very much what some of this feels like. It is like that Robin Hood thing, like, oh, since they're being oppressed by the system and they don't have access to the wealth that I have to be able to go to a store and just steal things willy-nilly and post it on Tumblr, I should be the one to save these people from their oppression, and by stealing makeup from fucking Walmart, I'm gonna fucking save America.
Yeah.
And that's, honestly, for the life of me, I think that's the mentality they're going in this with. Maybe not so many swear words and stuff, but it's been a long week. And we're just gonna move on to...
It's fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just being onions. I don't care if you're a kid. From when I was fucking, like, from when I could fucking hear, Dwayne said, never steal. If you steal, I'm gonna beat the shit out of you. So, like, not like that, but, like, I don't know. Like, why would you, like, I don't know. Why
a lot
you
of these kids, like I said in that,
it's like
rant
social
I had,
media.
are privileged kids who don't understand
Yeah.
what a fucking dollar is, because that's just the situation they grew up in.
Like, go work for $5 on the fucking hay bale farm, fucking, like, sweating your balls off in the hay mow, fucking 110 degrees, fucking getting cut up, just so you can fucking make $100 and go fucking buy a popsicle.
Yeah, definitely a lot of this is a lot of fucking privilege. I don't say that word a lot because I feel like a lot of that word is very heavy now. Like, use your privilege and blah, 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 blah. All that stuff. Not going to talk about it. But a lot of these kids are privileged in the sense of, like, they don't have these hardships, and they see other people with hardships, And I think in their mind, they bring those hardships of others onto themselves. And I think that's why they start making those connections in their head. Like, oh, if he's oppressed, then I'm oppressed. I need to make a difference, even though I live in a fucking $300,000 house in fucking Long Island. Like, it's just, I think that's what the internet does to people. I think by being in close proximity to hardship, you bring that hardship towards yourself.
Yeah.
If you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, for sure. Well, this next slide is a compilation of things that I gathered across the Liftblr, and I thought the best way to kind of get my point across with everything is just by showing you some of the stuff. Once again, I did erase some of the usernames in here. I think I got a majority of them. Some of the backgrounds, obviously, you can see usernames. But I'm not trying to attack these people. But these are some of the things that I gathered. This person, the first one, had been lifting for 6 months. And they were talking about how their favorite stores were Claire's, Hot Topic, and Lush. That was another weird thing, is they won't write the name of the store. They'll write these use weird symbols and everything to fill in the blanks. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe so they don't get banned. I did come across, there was an instance where a lot of users were doxxed at some point within the last year. That's kind of why I tried to avoid focusing on names and stuff like that as much. Being doxxed is a terrible thing, and I can, especially if these are young kids and they got doxxed, they don't know how to fucking do anything about that.
Mm-hmm.
For people who don't know, doxing is when you give out people's like personal information, like their address and like their phone number and family's phone numbers and stuff. And a bunch of people did that shit to like these probably young ass kids within the last year, because I saw multiple users talking about it. I couldn't find the post later on, but
Yo, this dude stole salami?
Yeah.
What?
See, some things I don't know if they're trolls.
I lifted salami from Trader Joe's, and now I have to eat it all because I didn't realize that my mom would wonder where it came from if I put it in the fridge. So now I'm in my room with a loaf of fancy local salami. What the fuck? Why don't you just tell her you bought it? That's why they have to be kids, because like...
Yeah, they ain't got no fucking money,
that's why they
dude.
have to be like really young, because if this person is afraid to put it in their fridge, they might be like, where did the salami come from? Like, if I came home, if my mom came home one day and opened up the fridge and there was like something in the fridge and she goes, where did this come from? I'd be like, I don't fucking know, Dad. Probably the store. Like, where the fuck you think it came from? All these. Why is this in our fridge? Because I bought it. Like, they have to be young kids, because like nobody would say that and be like, my mom's gonna wonder where the salami came from. Yeah, she only gives me $2 a week, and salami's $2.54.
This next one is also, why would you steal 2 Cliff Bars?
I do like a good Cliff Bar.
Yeah, but literally, that's the other thing. This one is a good example of it. They'll write total saved when they total up all their steals and all the stuff they stole or whatever. They'll say saved. Like, how they saved $4 by stealing it.
People got too much time in their hands.
That's so fucking ignorant, dude.
Yeah. This is an anti-post that I found. This dude was talking about, because once again, the weightlifting community also uses this hashtag a lot. I did include it, originally I had a photo included in this slide of one of the dudes who, like, post quite often to this Liftblr thing, just doing his daily, like, weightlifting stuff. Awesome dude. He was like the one good guy that I saw on there. His face was all over it, and I was like, this man is just trying to lift some weights, and I respect him. But yeah, this one is just kind of going after...
The other half are disgusting, entitled pond scum. Convince others that nabbing a Sephora palette will teach the corporations a lesson, and that they're somehow not... Spoiled? Okay, spoiled. Bully bitches. That man's pissed. He wants his hashtag back. I don't blame him.
Yeah, freaking... let's see here. Alright, this was another one. They were just showing, like, how their total or whatever. They stole $27. They talk about how the cashier was onto them, so they would buy something. Some of these photos, I think this was a good preface before we get into the actual photos. Some of these, they will buy a couple items, so not all the items shown, most of the items shown are stolen items. But some of them, like the really small things, they'll go and buy something small to get like the cashier's mind off the fact that they're stealing something, and then they'll go and take their stuff they stole too.
Yeah.
With the $2
That's
item they bought.
that's kind of similar to how we have to be careful at GNC and then other stores as well. With like money, we always get told that if somebody comes in and pays with a $50 bill and like or a $100 bill, and the total is like literally like under 10, then it's like really sketchy, because they're usually trying to like pawn off a fake and then get like as much actual money back and change that they can. So that kind of reminded me of that, because that's like a similar, like, steal as much as you can and then buy something to make it look like you're not doing something illegal, but you're just trying to, like, play it off.
There's a fucking fly in my room. I'm trying to murder blast it.
Alright, blast it.
Get him.
Hey, Mr. Miyagi out here with the chopsticks.
Alright. So now let's get into some of the photos. These photos, once again, some of these items are purchased, most of them are stolen. I think you'll start seeing a theme of what items they choose. This one not so much. This one just seems like they stole random ass.
Why the fuck would you steal milk of magnesia?
But incense. So you're gonna start seeing themes of like that weird, like fucking astrology, like fucking, kind of people who.
Don't talk shit about it, okay? I'm a Leo and I only align with Capricorns.
Astrology not so much, but some of the people that fall for some of that stuff, other stuff outside of astrology.
I'm kidding. I apologize if that offended anybody who's deep into astrology.
People that are uneducated on
step
economics.
Lightly on this episode.
I'm not gonna step lightly on shit, bro. If you're goddamn,
I'm not gonna step lightly with anyone who is
use
completely
your
uneducated
sign
in economics.
to make all your life decisions. You need help. That's just my opinion on it. Get a conscience. Conscience. Thank you. Can't talk.
Yeah, this next photo you see, these items are obviously not for a middle-aged man.
Ooh, anime.
This was a common item I saw for some reason. These house wines. If there's any people in loss prevention out there working in a place where you sell house wine, you better hard.
Check it.
Because these 14 and 15-year-old children are stealing your house wine.
I respect the Baby Bell cheeses. I'm a fan.
That's probably why I've never fucking seen house wine anywhere. Because it's stolen 24/7.
There ain't none left.
I don't know if they sell it by the can
that?
or
It's
something. I think
shit.
they do sell it by the can or something.
Well,
I've never seen
it's in the
that.
can. That's funny shit.
What the fuck?
This next one, some more clothes.
It
This
colors.
one, this right here, the astrology Bible.
Twitches, baby.
The Mercury retrograde.
Yeah.
Wow.
How the fuck?
This one hit hard to hope. They fucking stole insomnia cookies. All right, so there's insomnia cookies near me, and these shits are dank, dude. They're not that expensive. Like 2 cookies with some ice cream, like $14.
How did they get access to them? Aren't they like behind a thing?
Okay, so this is another thing that I came across. This is why I put this in here. They steal a lot of fucking food, man. A lot of food.
Yeah, but doesn't the worker have to hand you those?
Okay, so with DoorDash, they have little tables out where they put the DoorDash orders, so the DoorDash people can just walk in and walk out and grab
if
them.
you're stealing DoorDash orders, you need a fucking life.
Or like Panera and stuff. When you use like the Panera app, they just leave it like in this little spot so you can take it. A lot of these kids are stealing people's orders, so they're not even stealing from the company. They're stealing people who ordered on like an app to get their food, and they steal it before someone comes and picks it up.
Yeah, because like if you think about it, what are the odds that the restaurant or the business is going to be like, oh yeah, we believe you, you don't have it, we'll make you more and you don't have to pay again? They're going to be like,
apparently they say all the time that they say that, oh, we're not stealing from the people because I've heard them say the freaking, I'm sorry, what did they say some stupid shit. They say like, I'm totally blanking.
Like the restaurant makes them food again and doesn't make them pay?
Yeah, the restaurant will like make their food again or something.
Yeah, I guarantee you for every time that the restaurant makes their food again, there's another 3 times that the restaurant goes, hey, fuck you, you stole our food, we're not going to make you more.
Yeah.
So
Okay, so let's think about this, though. Like, what's the greatest asset? Time. You're fucking wasting fucking... You gotta wait for them to cook it when you fucking find out it's missing. Be like, hey, my shit's gone. Now I gotta wait to eat if I'm feeding fucking children. What if it's a fucking single mother trying to feed 3 kids who just fucking took a whole meal? You fucking piece of shit.
Apparently, also sometimes they'll go up and say that their order isn't there so they can get what they actually want so they don't have to steal somebody else's food. That's a common tactic with these people. I'm going to say this was the thing that really, honestly, was one of the things that made me mad about all of this, is because of that situation that Trent said. When you're stealing from other people, okay, go ahead, steal from fucking Walmart. You're still not a good person. But if you steal, like, someone's food, you do not know what the situation that person is in, like Trent said.
Yeah.
If you start stealing from other people, that's where I really started. I want to make sure that I make an example of the fact that people are doing things like this, because it is not a good thing to do.
No.
And I hope if it gets to anyone that thinks that this is a good thing to do, it's really not. It's not helping anything. You're hurting people way down the supply line when you steal from someone.
It's just like...
That's dumb.
You're hurting yourself, yo. You're hurting yourself. You're hurting your kids, their futures. You're not creating a good, strong... I don't know. It's just fucking... If you steal...
Whoa.
It's just one of those things. Like, are you going to do it the rest of your life? Like, where does it end?
Yeah. Yeah, you gonna start fucking robbing banks, bud?
Probably.
Yeah.
Fat banks.
In the name of communism, fuck capitalism, I'm robbing them tea.
Stealing some
Like,
more goods, some lotions. How in the hell did you get out of there with a whole backpack?
Dude, I had one before. I could not find the post again. I literally saved part of it, and I couldn't find it again. It was a spring break haul. This girl stole literally like $1,000 worth of stuff over spring break. She had literally 3 outfits stolen from one store. I don't know how the
Where do they fit it?
that.
Where do you put it?
That's ridiculous.
Shove it up your ass.
Right here in this
Showing
corner.
up your ass.
Right here in this corner is where the body lifter was. I originally had him there, but I didn't want to put his face next to all the stolen stuff.
Yeah, really.
I didn't want
This
to
is the
conflate those two
culprit.
things because he was the one shining star in all of this.
Was that the one who made that post that we saw? Or was it a different guy?
No, it's a different
No,
guy.
okay.
I'll show you the picture afterwards. He's just a nice smiling guy.
Meeting
He
boyfriends.
takes like literally 1,000 photos and puts them on Tumblr.
Yeah, boy.
Literally, it's so funny. Alright. So, as we get into the next part here, I just wanted to, after all that, I feel like that was a lot of stuff in those photos. I didn't think we were going to talk about that long about the photos, but this section right here is just kind of the common things that I saw across all of this. So users posting haul totals with photos of stolen items, lifters boast about their PRs, personal records, and other users reward them with likes. That's definitely one of the big things that I would saw. The post with like people who were stealing $300 and like, this is the most I've ever stolen. Those posts were the ones that were getting a lot of likes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So within the community, the more you steal, the more endorphins you get from the likes. So they're just propping up people to steal more and more. So because a lot of these kids start off going to like Dollar Tree and they'll steal like a lollipop, put the lollipop in their pocket. They get those endorphins when they go onto Tumblr and they put a picture on there and be like, I stole my first lollipop. They get 2 likes. They're like, dude, I bet if I stole a toy car, I could get 4 likes. And
It just escalates
you
from
get
there.
those funnel, those like fucking.
That's the rabbit hole.
It's just like a funnel.
That's called the rabbit hole.
Yeah, don't fall down those rabbit holes. Number 2, lifters seem to be in the general age demographic of 14 to 16 years old, and most of the products being stolen come from stores like Victoria's Secret, Hot Topic, and Claire's.
By the way, those are all privately owned businesses.
From my point of view, it seems like a lot of these people who are or part of this group and everything are young female girls. I can't tell. They're hidden behind a username that could be a dude shoplifting that stuff. I don't know. There could be a 45-year-old man. Who fucking knows? Because they're hiding behind that thing. But just based on just everything that I've saw and like the style of like how these people interact within this, I'm gonna say that's the demographic they're in.
Yeah.
Once again, we're just gonna across the community. Many lifters seem to strongly dislike men, especially older men, and many of them post about manipulating sugar daddies into giving them money and clothes. This was one of the weird things that I kept stumbling upon, was that these girls were actively preying upon like both boys and older men for sugar daddies, but they were talking about how like they're this boy that I'm talking to, I convinced him to do this, like spend this money on me and everything, and fuck him and shit like that. So like they're openly like trying to tear down the patriarchy, I guess. I don't know, or maybe they just want more money.
They'll never take me alive.
But it was a weird theme to see in there. That I could see the sugar daddy thing, because I've came across girls who are willingly. If I was like a attractive female, I would probably take money from some weird 45.
There ain't no shame in selling a feet pic. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. No shame in that. But a lot of these girls, I'm hoping the people doing it aren't children. That just makes it a whole weird thing. But we're not gonna dive too deep into that. They were just pretty aggressive towards the male gender. Experienced users share tips with the rest of the community, including store policies, ways not to get caught, and how to be an active Liftblr member.
Yeah, so like what you
that's what I kind of talked
to the beginning, all those rules and shit.
Mm-hmm. The people that are actively creating a community in here, and I don't want to use that word, but in a sense, grooming shoplifters, to reoffend and keep doing this over and over again to prop up this community and keep it going, because this has been going on since 2015, and as far as I can tell, it is alive and well. It has not been talked about a lot, and I'm just going to go after these people because they're the people that need to be the main focus of all of this. These experienced older people that are in this community, like actively trying to help it, these are the people that I have issues with.
Yeah.
Lifters often put phrases like role play and just for fun in their profiles to minimize the chances of someone like them taking their crime seriously. I did see this a lot. I have heard of situations on Tumblr where people will make these role play like hashtags where like you take on a different role and you pretend like you're somebody, and they like, I don't know. It's weird. Tumblr's a weird place. But, like, kind of like, I don't know, fucking a role-playing game, but, like, you just do it with, like, chat things, I guess. Tumblr's weird. Doesn't matter, but a lot of them put that in there because that's a common Tumblr thing, and I'm thinking they're just kind of trying to throw people off their scent. I don't know. Maybe they are really doing it, but there are profiles that don't have that in there. A lot of them don't have that in there, but I think maybe the younger kids who are afraid of getting their account banned put just for fun in there so Tumblr won't go after them. But, that kind of gets me into, like, the final thing that I really want to hit heavy on. I think this most heavily falls on Tumblr for allowing this kind of thing to continue on since 2015 when that article first came out about it. As I mentioned, I was not that hard to find this stuff. I typed in capitalism shoplifting, and that was the first thing that came up. So if you're a bodybuilder and you're trying to grow your fucking lifting account on Tumblr, if you would like to do that, you're gonna come across these people pretty heavily.
Yeah, really, it's just gonna be nothing but
the
shoplifting.
fact that Tumblr openly allows this stuff to happen is where I'm really taking aim at, because I think they're the ones who are responsible for this, because it's their platform, and
Tumblr's canceled.
Tumblr's on its last legs anyways, because right here, Tumblr's nudity ban removes one of the last major refuges for pornography on social media. They banned porn on their website, but they will allow shoplifting. What the fuck is that?
Yeah, where am I supposed to watch porn?
There was a big porn community of girls just like posting photos and stuff on there. I don't know. I think Tumblr is if you look at their demographics, I'm gonna say there's a lot of girls on there. But there was a big porn community in Tumblr, honestly, and they shut that shit down because it was bad for advertisement or something. I don't fucking know. They got bought out. I'm pretty sure their company went under. Pornhub almost bought
place,
Tumblr.
bro.
Yeah, Pornhub almost bought Tumblr, but Tumblr, this is your issue to fucking deal with, and you dealt with things in the past. This article, I'm gonna preface this. This is from 2012. They had a big issue back then with in early internet days. There was a lot of weird trends with the children, like the blue whale challenge and stuff like that, where like they would kill themselves at the end of these things, and a lot of them were on Tumblr and stuff like, and platforms like that, those like blogging things where young children would fall into these things, and Tumblr openly let these things happen on their platform. And then they got rid of it because people change, platforms change and stuff like that. But this is one of those situations that I believe that Tumblr is just kind of putting a blind eye to, when in reality I don't see it being just a good thing in general to openly allow it to happen. But that's why I'm just gonna say it, Tumblr exposed. And yeah.
Fuck Tumblr. If you raise your kids in the mindset of being a shoplifter, and that fucking, you are a fucking shitty person. And if you steal, if you listen to this, like, I personally, like, not that I thought Dwayne would always beat my ass, but I just never have ever felt the urge to steal. I've seen people steal, and I've always been like, oh man, that must be really cool, just getting shit for free. But like, I always think about it, it's like, what does that say about somebody? Like, I don't know.
I agree, bro. I agree.
Like,
yeah.
Like, can you trust someone like that? Like,
No.
I don't know.
Nope, not really.
Yeah. And like, it goes to big business, but like, what does it come down to? The fact that you're not willing to work for money, or like the fact that you just want like handouts? Like, what does it come down to? Like, you just feel entitled to things because you're alive.
Yeah, I think, I don't. The whole thing's just kind of dumb. You ask me. I think it's just one of those like stupid, like, hobby, like, just cults that people fall into.
Yeah. That's some cult shit right there.
If you can even call it a cult. I just said that, vaguely. But I think it's...
I've been calling it a cult like this whole time. It's a shoplifting cult, dude. It's like a bunch of people like together, like rooting together. Hey, let's fucking shoplift.
They have set rules in the community.
Yes, that is a cult. That is a fucking...
Yeah, they have one ideology, it seems. They all kind of think the same way, so
they all think
they're
like...
all ideologically the same. And, yeah. But this was a wild journey for me.
Well, Dylan, I appreciate you putting it together.
Yeah, thank you, Dylan. Shout out to our mans, Dylan, for exposing fucking Tumblr.
Give him a round of applause, everybody. Took a lot of work.
And if,
it was
we
great,
are going to market this episode
like the transitions. Nice.
To take down Tumblr.
Good shit, Dylan.
My best.
I like that.
But yeah, just my final note on it, and I'm never going to talk about it again. It's the last time I ever want to fucking talk about it.
True date.
I have no ill intent. I'm not one of those people trying to cancel anyone. I just want people to do what's right. And especially nowadays, there's a lot of people struggling and shoplifting. And especially, I know a lot of these people say they don't do it from small businesses, but in a way, anything you steal is hurting your neighbor. it all comes down somehow. And I think during COVID times, and even normally, it is never good to hurt your neighbor. And I just think Tumblr just needs to do a better job. They've fixed their issues in the past, and I think this is one of those things that they can fix. I'm sure the community will find a new home, and it will continue on somehow. But I don't think openly allowing these kind of things to continue, especially nowadays with everything going on. And the last other thing is those motherfuckers who are openly fucking helping this shit. But other than that, yeah, that's my final note.
True.
Fuck all of this.
Mic drop.
Fuck all this.
Mic drop.
You dropped a mic.
Hell yeah. Hey, we got any fun topics to finish it off?
Ooh,
I mean, yeah, go ahead, Trey.
Not really.
Oh god.
No, I don't know. Any fun topics?
I
think
mean-
Brad's got one on the tip of his tongue.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I can hit you with the da-da-da meme.
Oh,
of the
I
week.
thought we were gonna hit a topic before we do meme of the week.
I just fucking faked him out and didn't tell him the meme of the week.
Fake them out.
All right, you want to hear a topic, Dylan? You want to hear a cool topic?
Yeah.
All right, bud. Let me Oh, actually, I could have two things to say, but I'll just say the one thing. My next door neighbor, she's letting me borrow her son's. It was her old husband's, his dad's drum set, and then it became her son's, and then it's been sitting in her basement for like 12 years. So she's letting me borrow it,
awesome.
and I am like going through like a full-on restoration. So like yesterday I spent time like cleaning out like all like the shells, which are like the drum itself, like it's called a shell, and then you put the heads of the drum on it. So I've been cleaning off the shells. I've been like polishing them, wiping down like all the little bits, the little where like the screws go in. And then I started cleaning off like the stool. I was brushing it down, getting all the rust off of it. I started doing the hi-hat today, and then I got to still clean like the cymbals. I got to clean the rest of the heads, but I'm real excited for when I finally get everything clean and everything put together. I'm going back on tour. Gentlemen, keep your girlfriends inside, because ain't nobody safe when B-Dill's got the drum set banging again. So there you go. Keep your women inside when I get behind that set, because there's about to be rivers flowing like the Nile. If you know what I mean.
Ooh, I'm gonna have some hot topics next week. 20th episode. I'm gonna be in Long Island, dude.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Jana.
So oh, Jana, baby.
Jana,
But,
baby.
I'm gonna be extremely distant. Socially distant.
I'm gonna be here, so
And,
I'll keep it locked down on the home front as far as.
But I'm gonna have some Long Island pizza reviews. And I've heard about some extremely good bacon.
Please fold
bacon
it. Please fold it like a
cheeses.
taco. Please fold your pizza.
I'm going to. Oh man, just
you
thinking
eat-
about pizza
I know.
makes me pretty erect.
Oh, baby. Ooh, I love pizza.
Have you guys been looking at any game releases? Any games you're excited about?
Not really.
Nah, I've been looking at stocks.
I've been
I'm such a
I've been looking at
loser.
my CPT book and a rusty drum set, and not much else. I honestly haven't played Smite in 4 days. Anytime I like have a little time set aside and we play some box, we usually just play some Rocket League. I've been digging that though. I've been really
I've been fucking with Rocket League.
yes.
Yo.
Jake is very informative, and he's very good at like teaching and instructing, and I'm enjoying it. He's gotten much better at that over the years, because when he first introduced me to Smite, he would just yell at me. Now when we play Rocket League, he constructively criticizes and has a laugh at the end of it. So it's a lot more
He's
enjoyable.
gonna laugh at the end of it.
It's a lot more enjoyable. Not like the early days of Smite, when I would just like turn my Xbox off after playing Smite with him and like cry myself to sleep because he just like verbally abused me.
Well, I have it on my laptop, so maybe I'll play with you one day.
Rocket League, it's a good time.
We should.
You should for sure.
Fucking fours.
You should for sure. It's a lot of fun.
Well, hit that meme.
Oh
there, bro.
baby, hitting you with it for a second time. We faked you out the first time, but this time it is for real. It's the da-da-da meme of the week. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Week 19. 19 weeks in a row coming at you with the meme of the week. Once again, brought to you by the Nugget Instagram page. Of course, as always, not a sponsor. Still got to throw that in there, you know. The people love it. I love it. You guys love it. We got a fire meme coming at you for this week. This one there was a lot. I'm not going to lie. There was a lot of good ones as of late. But this one just like really made me laugh just because I love the show and I love the artist. And it's a picture. It's a picture of, on the left, it's 11 from Stranger Things. And on the right, it's Eminem. And it says up top, it says, "Remember that kid from Stranger Things? ? Feel old yet? ? And like, that one just had me dying. Because why they gotta do M like that? Why they gotta do M like that? Oh, God. But that, and then somebody in the comments, the top comment on this post was 11 Mile. Oh my God. Oh, but that was your da-da-da meme of the week. Thank you, everybody.
Success.
Much love.
For sure. Freaking, well, another thing I want to leave everybody off with is this past weekend was Comic-Con. And they posted all the stuff from Comic-Con that you would have to go to the event to see on their YouTube channel. There's a lot of actually informative panels and stuff in there.
That's dope.
Spend the next week doing something productive if you would like to.
That sounds dope.
There's a lot of cool stuff on there. There's like this Solar Opposites, like the creator of Rick and Morty, everything did a panel with all the people from that show.
Rick and Morty.
And it's so weird to see them all in person because all their voices sound identical to the characters they play.
I like when that happens though, because you're like, shit, that's him.
Yeah,
That's funny.
That's funny.
It was definitely. There's a lot of fucking videos on there, so they had like literally like 40 different panels every single day. So there's a lot of content on there. Definitely scroll through it. I'm sure there's probably easier ways to find the video that you want to look for, but definitely check that out. Next week we got episode 20.
Boom, and then season 1 off with a bang.
Hell yeah!
Big bang.
It's been fun.
Big bangers.
That's for damn sure.
Hells yeah.
Hell yeah.
But I hope everybody enjoyed this little deep dive into a weird internet community. I think I would like to do this more in the future. Definitely not anytime soon, but I do love, that's a lot of the content I watch on YouTube, honestly, is like weird deep dives into Reddit communities and stuff like
It's
that.
definitely interesting.
Yeah, there's some weird things out there on the internet, and I would definitely like to do that more. So.
And informative, obviously, for like the people who like actually want to hear about it. Like, it's cool. I was interested to hear about it. I was excited to see like what you put together. So, again, I appreciate it. That was dope.
Yes, sir. And I'll do it
Thank
again.
you.
I like
Hells
doing stuff
yeah.
like that.
All right, well, I have to use the restroom very badly. Drank a lot of water during this cast. So, I'm peacing out.
That's it, folks.
Peace and love, everybody, and we'll see you.
If you made it this far, cherish you and your lovely titties. Man, that was... Bye.